when it came to the actual thing, I've been thinking about it for a long time. And I think one of my problems with ENreco that I personally have is there's so much time between that you kind of, even if you really enjoy it, like you're inevitably going to forget a little bit of what was going on. So I had a little bit of a like, oh my god, I need to go back and I need to like rewatch. One of the places where ENreco is fun, but it also struggles a bit for me is let's all be honest, the main plot isn't that interesting. It's fine. It brings the story together, but like comparatively to things that we can build. So I feel like there's also always going to be the expectation shift of the main plot, which is always going to be the opening and the finale, is always just going to be that. The main plot that is the vehicle for the story to advance. But then the actual very, very interesting parts of the story are going to be the stuff that's unpredictable. And it's hard to factor that stuff, I think, into things like the ending, because how do you when you have to pre-make all of this stuff months and months and months in advance? You know, you can't really add in everything that was being prepped, you know? And because there is the kind of story to lead everything, but then another issue is there's no DM. So we can't really like we don't have anyone like leading us in any direction. And just because I saw some people addressing it, some people kept bringing up things like, oh, apparently there was a script. Oh, like I saw, sorry, not to address the ending a little bit, with the scripted game of tag, I saw some people being like, oh, apparently there was a script for if Advent won, so why didn't they read the script? Like, stuff like that. I will give you the 411 since everyone seems confused. There was a script. Both of them ended the exact same way, and both of them were 3 lines only. Both of them were something along the lines of, ah, you caught us, or haha, you can't catch me. And then, quick, do the purification! And then Advent gets purified. Both of them. So for people who kept addressing that and being like, why didn't you guys let Advent win? I was, cause like, first off, we were asked by management to do that the game 2 to 3 times. We weren't only just supposed to do it once. We were supposed to do it 2 to 3 times. And then we didn't have to read the script, but also the script was just a suggestion, and it was really, really corny. So, honestly, it was kind of a fight we had to lose, or else it would have just been stupid anyway. The 15 minutes was a little long. I think it could have been a little bit shorter, but we're all just too good at hiding. What can I say? We're all just too good at hiding. I think, also, there was a little bit of a miscommunication. I feel really bad for everyone involved because, I think they definitely intended for us to be able to finish out our plot lines, but I think the wording was maybe just a little bit hard to understand, that maybe it was misunderstood, that it was like, oh, we have to start at this time. But when I looked back and I referenced it, I was like, oh no, they did say that we can take our time. So I was like, oh no, there's a misunderstanding. But I really wish we could have closed off. Part of me is really curious to ask and be like, can you give me the map for ENreco? Can you open it for one more day and like just let us schedule? And can we like go in and like finish a few of those plot lines with just the people who are interested in it? I don't know. I feel like everyone's really tired too. ENreco, well, it is really, really, really fun and I really love it. It is also like a full week of non-stop thinking about only ENreco. And, so, you know, it's like I'm sad it's over, but I'm glad that I can have some air to breathe because, last week was great. I had nothing else to do really work-wise. I had a few things to do, but like generally we were able to clear out my schedule because we had the dates so far in advance. I needed to literally not have anything else. I haven't heard from my manager in a week. In like 2 weeks. I don't know what's happening anymore. I think I got my first like real message from them yesterday telling me, you have this going tomorrow. See you there. See you there. But I really... I feel really sad for both Biboo and Shiori because I feel like they really deserve to have their moment. You know, we had the plot of the Shakira murder and we're planning the trial and trying to get, you know, everyone in the same place to like do it. But like it's like then they, you know, when Bijou's like, it was kind of like a, you know, and then we had that amazing moment with roleplay with Laura and Liz, where we saw, if you watch their perspective, after they got the body back, they went and they burned the body. And Liz just did some crazy, amazing DM. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it. It was a great way to close off, at least with the corpse. Yeah, DM pause. It was really awesome to watch, especially after. I will say, I also did see that I don't know what happened either. I need to ask Shiori because I saw in Callie's perspective, they actually went down to the church again today to try and investigate, and it wasn't there anymore. The area under the ground wasn't there anymore. There was a room, and now I really like want to know because I'm like, oh my gosh, what was the plan with that? So it was amazing though. She changed it. She's so smart. She covered up the evidence. And then they're like digging to try and find it and they can't. And I'm like, where did it go? Oh my god, did she delete it? Did she get rid of it? Oh my god, she's crazy. She was playing 4D chess. It was amazing. So Shiori just really, really, really cooked. But so I totally understood her frustration about not being able to finish out what she had been planning. Because also people kept attributing the trial. The trial was something generally all of us had been planning, like from the beginning. Because, to be clear, we all knew that Shakira was going to die, chapter 1, and that someone was going to have murdered her, and that it was going to be a goal to find out who murdered her. So we always knew at the end there was going to be a trial. So I don't know why. I felt bad that people kept being like, Shiori's trial. I was like, it's not Shiori's trial. This is something we all planned. This is something we all put stuff into. This is all something we tried with. But it ended up being really chaotic. And yeah, it didn't really get resolved. And then just after that, we just went and did the end. So it was kind of like we're trying to do the trial and then, you know, finish the other plot lines, but it's just a little bit of misunderstanding. So please don't be too mean to Staff San. It really wasn't anyone's fault. It's just a misunderstanding. But I feel really bad for Staff as well, because I mean, I feel like all of us are getting a lot of, not all of us, but there's a lot of just negativity going around at what I think was otherwise a really, really wonderful season. So I really wish people would stop trying to point fingers and be like, oh, it must be all so-and-so's fault. You know, it's not really anyone's fault. You can still not like the hide and seek, I guess, but like, again, it's ENreco. It's the main story. There's only so much you can do for mini games. Plus, you guys love watching cute girls do cute things, so why not just enjoy cute girls playing tag? I guess my advice would be try to just enjoy it for what it was, because there's only so much you can do in a Minecraft RP. So, don't get me wrong, I had really high expectations too, and there were things I was definitely extremely disappointed with. I put in all my feedback, and I did that. And it was it was what it was. And there's a lot of constraints. There's only so much that can be done. And I feel like, well, the tag was a little long. I feel like it was still fun. For me as a player, at least. And especially I feel like the second time around, with us kind of having the agreement to not hide too much, I feel like made it more fun for the seekers. So but yeah, Fomokor, strong. Oh my god. The fact that like all the rest of us were getting caught first, I was like, jeez. It was fun. No, again, I agree. It lasted a little bit too long. It should have been shorter. But my main complaint isn't even the time. My main complaint is the place where we were doing it. I just think that space was too big for tag. If you want my actual honest opinion, the castle was way, way too big for that sort of game. Because I feel like it was really easy for me to hide somewhere and I probably would never be found. Like, I could have, and if I just am not moving, the seekers would just basically have to keep looking around this giant castle, hoping that they find me. So I feel like that was my real issue. I didn't have an issue with the time, I had an issue with that. Because really, let's be real, 30 minutes isn't that long, especially compared to how long every other ENreco episode is. So I do feel like it was a bit long, but I also feel like that's because we were lasting too long. I feel like it's because it was supposed to be like a tough fought 15 minutes if it makes it that far. But instead it was like a, wow, I can just hide the whole time. So 30 minutes, see, but that's the thing. No one, especially the second time, was just hiding. So I think being over the top, yeah, if everyone had just hid for the whole 30 minutes, that would have been really stupid. Hiding plus invisibility. I didn't really use the invisibility. So everyone kept being like, oh, the invisibility. Maybe everyone else was, but we only had 3 of them. I don't think they lasted very long. I don't know, though, because I didn't use it. I didn't use it, so it is what it is. 30 minutes of being frustrated. That's why the second time around, everyone was running. Or at least I told everyone to run. Wakoko kept hiding in the same spot. Wakoko. But, yeah, it definitely, it was something. Invisibility lasted like 5 seconds. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. But I do think, again, do I think the game was perfect? No. Do I think for a game that was built in Minecraft, I think it was fine. I think the space made it suffer the most. Because the other thing that everyone I feel like is missing is, as the hiders, we had an alarm thing, so we had to constantly do things that made people aware of our location. Because, so we couldn't, like, we had to constantly be putting off, like, bells or fireworks to alert people to where you are. So it's not like we're just like, oh, well, we can just hide, and that's it. It's like, oh. But yeah, the map was huge. So again, my main issue, I feel like the game would have been fine, but the map was way, way too big. So, but I've already given that feedback, so hopefully in the future we won't run into that sort of issue. I think a straight RP. I mean, I would have liked a straight RP too, but again, how do you do that with the story of ENreco? We don't have a DM. So the only option is to give everyone a script and say, please read this script. And I don't think that's fun for anyone. We need a DM and we don't have a DM. So it would be great. I agree with you. That would be incredible if there was just RP and if there was a DM, but we did not have a DM. We have not had a DM, and Liz shouldn't be forced to DM just because we need a DM. That's not her responsibility either. But that's all beside the point. Back to, oh, well, since we're already talking about it, but that's the ending. I think again, I think the tag game, it lasted a little bit long and the space was still big, but at the end of the day, it was just cute girls playing tag. And I think if you ignore it as that, or as anything other than that, then maybe you'll enjoy it just a little bit more. But yeah, I think for me the most disappointing thing was that there was no end animation. I complained a lot. I was like, hey, why not? Where's the... It was really good in season 2. I think everyone really loved that. I really loved that. I thought it made it really fun. It was like a great way to build up the hype for season 3. So why did we not have that? And I already gave them a ton of flack. So I also gave them suggestions to see how it can potentially be made up for, but we'll see. As of course I'm just one talent, it doesn't mean my opinion's going to be taken into consideration. But yeah, I think when you have season 2 have such a strong ending, not having one. But I also feel like it's kind of like a midpoint too. There's still more to the story. There's still more to the story, you know? Because there's still going to be one more chapter. So we're going to have to wait for the last one. For the last one to close off the story. But yeah, I'm just happy. I think one of the big things about ENreco that I really love, aside from getting to try something I've always wanted to do but never really had the opportunity to, is getting to roleplay, but also getting to do something with all of EN and getting to kind of like be together, because you know we're all so busy and it's really hard to make things where we can kind of like organically interact like that. So being able to basically be in a room with everyone and have the chance to like run into each other, it's nice. It's really nice. And obviously not everyone can always play for it as long, not everyone can play every day, but just being able to be around everyone, it's just really special. Any chance you can ask the gods for the lore dump extract? Always love hearing your thoughts on the world lore. I really want to, but I feel like I might ask them to still dump it somewhere, but I feel like my issue with this season does go with the fact that everything was kind of reused assets-wise as well. So it was really hard to want to get into the lore because I was like, well, a lot of the lore was based around the areas, so I don't know if what's in the books is actually going to be different, and I'm not really... I would have to go back and check, so I don't want to waste my time reading it all again if it's all going to be the same. But it's probably different, but I just, like... They would have had to have made something up completely different about it, you know? So it would kind of invalidate the old lore. Does that make sense? Yeah, I thought it was going to be a different Liebestelle as well, so I was really surprised to see largely reused maps, and especially from season 1, which to my understanding was a simulation by the outsider. So I was like, how are we back here? I thought this Liebestelle didn't really exist. But, you know, which again, if it did then, and if that Liebestelle was based on the real Liebestelle, I don't know. Yeah, season 1 was the fake one, and so this should have been the real Liebestelle, I suppose. But I don't know. I thought there could have been more differences in the maps. Like, for example, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. You can reuse the same map in a way, but like really update it a lot to give it a new feel, to make it feel exciting to explore. But it just felt a little bit like nothing at all changed, you know? And I get that it can be hard, and like building these maps definitely isn't easy, and to an extent it was also, Natsukaishi, we're back in like the first Liebestelle. But I felt like there could have been more done, especially to like the slime fighting areas, to like make it stand out more on its own and not just be like, oh, it's just the same map again, you know? I have to read through. Then one question. Does ENreco end after chapter 4, or are they going to continue? I don't know for sure. I would imagine it ends at chapter 4 because, I mean, every one has been focused on a gen so far, and we only have one more gen left. So I think it will... Personally, this is how I feel. I really like ENreco, and this is coming from someone who loves ENreco. I think ENreco should go exactly as it is for one more season, and then I think it should end, and I think we should have, after that, like, a new kind of project that is maybe similar vein, but maybe, like, in a different game, or, like, maybe with, like, different, like, rules and different story, maybe, like, a more, like, actual proper, like, roleplay. Like, personally, just for me, I feel like that's something that, for me personally, I think would be more enjoyable, because I really enjoy the roleplay. I don't even mind that it's Minecraft. I actually, like, think it makes it quite easy, but I think there's just a lot more potential for stuff that we could do now that we've been, like, kind of trying this out. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know anything, but if it were up to me, that's personally what I would do. I would do one more season. I would finish it after 4, and then I would plan a different EN project. Because I just think that would be fun. So that's just my opinion, though. But I don't know. There's no answer. I really enjoy ENreco this season. Your acting was great. Were you surprised that Justice wasn't part of Advent's memories? I was expecting that to be a bigger reveal that would cause some conflict. No, I'm not surprised, because it wouldn't make sense for them to have been, because then their chapter 4 would have been kind of confusing to work with. So, and if anything, on the flip side too, I think showing any of us in their memories is something I kind of hope doesn't happen, because I feel like you really want the focus to be on them. Just like I really wanted Advent's focus to be on Advent for this season, like when it comes to the memories. So I think including anyone else in it kind of makes it kind of like, oh, well, but I was excited to just learn about my Oshi's past. And I feel like our pasts don't have to intersect, but it'll also be a bit unfair in a way. Like, maybe one mention of Advent, I don't have an issue with that, but I think overly including anyone in other people's lore, I think would have maybe not been a good move. Like, it could have worked if this was just Advent and Justice, but because of all the other factors, I don't think so. And I'm glad that it didn't. Where was I? With the way chapter 2 ended with Advent being corrupted with the curse at the end, do you ask the rest of Advent to slightly change up how you'd approach season 2 at the start? Did you and the rest of Advent slightly change up how you would approach season 3 at the start? I think we just tried to get together at the end of season 2, and then we had a little bit of a plan for it. But mostly, yeah. I don't really know, honestly. I have an answer, because we were just doing our best, you know? We kind of talked. We had a little bit of a plan for certain things, but we didn't, like, have a plan for, like, Advent as a whole. We were just kind of all enjoying being a little evil. About a post-season 4 project, thoughts on maybe doing it in VR chat with a group like OSRP, or do something with the creators / just EN but with DMs, something long form akin to Return to Bloodwell. Other Hollow Branch is I don't know. Again, I think if it were up to me, I don't know about VR chat, because admittedly my thing, I don't have a lot of VR chat experience, and I think a lot of other people also don't. So being in the VR headset gives me, like, really, really bad headaches. Like, I have to, like, take a nap after wearing them, because it's so, like, it makes me feel, and I don't ever experience motion sickness doing literally anything else. Like, I can drive in a car forever, and I won't get motion sickness. I can be on a boat and I don't get motion sickness. But oh my gosh, VR chat, that shit'll do me in. Like, that shit'll do me in so bad. So I'd love to do something like that, but I think I definitely, like, it would, I feel like it would be difficult. And also, like, I don't have a VR, like, set up at home, right? I don't have, like, full body VR chat trackers. I don't know how to use them, and it's kind of that's kind of like a, what is the word I'm looking for? it's kind of an entry-level thing that is a lot to learn. Once you learn it, I imagine you're like I think Liz is like a super wizard. Like, how does she know how to do all this stuff? I think it's insane. She's incredible. But I think it's a really steep learning curve, and I don't have a lot of those things, so it's a big investment for something that I know makes me feel really sick. And I know the more I do it, the less sick I will feel. But I need to get like a really, really lightweight one, and I wouldn't know what to buy, and then I need to figure out how to use the everything, you know, like, it's just, for me, it's a lot of stuff that seems a little bit scary. So it's, and to expect that of every single talent in EN, I think would just be a bit much. I just don't think that's possible. So I think that would be a lot to expect. So I think, I don't know. I will leave it to the team if they decide to do another project like this, but I think, again, something long form, something that is a little more interesting than just Minecraft roleplay with a very simple story and actually just having a DM would just be really exciting for me. So I hope that if we do something else like this after ENreco is all over and done with, I hope that it is there's a proper DM if it's another roleplay thing, because I really enjoyed this. I really love the roleplay. I really want to do more, but I really want to not have that. Well, NJ and LBF get married in chapter 4, and you'll have to watch and find out.